When fighters first lace up them gloves, a dream is born. A dream to be recognized as the best. Over the years, many fighters haven't got to live out this dream due to the politics that come with the sport of boxing. It's very rare you have the best fighting the best, but thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh, it seems as if this is changing. It wasn't too long ago we witnessed such a great spectacle in Fury and Usyk, which was also an undisputed fight. Now, one of the best matchups in boxing will happen again on October 12th. We will find out who is actually the best light heavyweight in the world, as Dmitry Bivol will take on Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed crown in the 175-pound division. Who will come out as the conqueror? Only time will tell, but follow us as we take a deep dive into this great fight. Dmitry Bivol. It was at the age of 6 Dmitry Bivol's father, Yuri, first took him to a boxing gym, and this is where Dmitry fell in love and hasn't looked back. An 11-year-old Dmitry won a national championship against a competitor 3 years older than him who had knocked out all of his previous opponents simply by not being hit. This is a key trait Bivol would use to get to where he is today, taking hardly any punishment in his whole career. He would leave the amateurs with an elite record of 268-15, leaving with the much-needed experience to navigate through the pros. Dmitry would make his pro debut in 2014 versus Jorge Rodriguez Oliveira, where he would go on to starch him, breaking him down round by round, until round 6, where he would push his battered foe to the ropes and let off devastating combinations, then crack him with a lethal right hand to drop him. His opponent was a tough one and got back to his feet beating the 10 count, but Bivol would go right back on, letting off more shots, which would force his corner to call no mas, throwing in the towel, which made Bivol the winner by TKO in just 6 rounds. It would only take this genius 18 months and 7 fights to win the light heavyweight title after being elevated by the WBA. His first defense would come against Trent Broadhurst, stopping him in just the first round with an astonishing right hand, which would flatline his opponent, leaving him unable to beat the 10 count. Dmitry would continue his undefeated run, beating formidable names such as John Pascal, Joe Smith Jr., and Craig Richards. Then, the opportunity of a lifetime would drop onto his lap, as one of the cash cows and biggest names of the sport, Saul Canelo Alvarez, would come up to 175 pounds to challenge him. This was the chance for Bivol to boost his profile, line his pockets, and show the world what he can do. So he took the fight, and he would not disappoint. The Russian would keep his cool head, as many thought he could fold under the bright lines of a fight night with Canelo. But he rose to the occasion, schooling his opponent. In the end, Canelo would bite off more than he can chew. Bivol would end up winning the bout by unanimous decision, which would give him even more big paydays on Saudi cards after being triumphant over Canelo. Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev would have an early start to boxing and would become successful quite quickly, becoming a highly skilled and experienced decorated amateur with over 100 bouts. He passed from juniors to adults at age 18. The following year, at age 19, he won the bronze medal at the Russian Championships in Samara. Through a vigorous selection process, he made his way to the Russian team, where he competed with Evgeny Makarenko, captain of the Russian team, who, by that time, had already been a 2-time winner of the World Championships in 2001 and 2003, and European Championships in 2002 and 2004. After becoming number 1 in the national team in 2006, he was selected to represent Russia at the European Championships in Plovdiv, Bulgaria, where he won the gold medal. Artur would go on to make his boxing debut at age 28, stepping into the ring with a man named Christian Cruz. Beterbiev would end up beating his opponent from pillar to post. He would catch him with a scrapping right hand on the top of the head, which would send his foe to his knee, calling for the ref to say no more to the battered and bruised Christian Cruz. Artur would steamroll the whole division, keeping a 100% knockout ratio, and after just 11 professional fights, he would get his first opportunity to become a world champion, challenging Enrico Colling for the vacant IBF light heavyweight title. Beterbiev's dream was to follow in the footsteps of the likes of Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali and become a world champion. This was a chance he would grab with both hands. It would be a grueling fight, as most of Beterbiev fights are. After giving his foe 11 rounds of punishment, he would finally get to him in the 12th, dropping him with some vicious hook combinations. Enrico would show tremendous warrior spirit and rise to his feet and try to throw in between Beterbiev's shots, but the machine they call Beterbiev was determined to keep his 100% knockout ratio intact. He would jump on Enrico like a wounded animal in the wild and go for the kill, throwing power shot after power shot, and a hook would be the final blow, putting Colling on his knees once more, forcing the ref to call no mas. Artur was now a world champion and would go on to have several title defenses. One of them would be against Brit Anthony Yarde, which would prove to be Arthur's toughest test. Most expected him to starch the man from London, but this was not the case. Although he was in control of the fight, it seemed Yarde was able to expose a chink in his armor and prove Beterbiev is a human after all as he hurt him. This made for an amazing scrap, being up there with one of the fights of the year, but Beterbiev's power would be too much to handle for Yarde, as he would be dropped in the fight, then eventually stopped in round 8. It looked like this fight wouldn't happen, as it was already scheduled once before but was cancelled due to Artur Beterbiev sustaining an injury. But this is one bout that the boxing purist and Turki Al-Sheikh himself wants to see, which made it easier for a rescheduling to happen. This is truly one of the most 50-50 fights of this boxing era, making it quite hard for the public to make a prediction. We've witnessed both fighters face uncomfortable situations and overcome them. Nevertheless, the murmurs around the boxing world would have Artur Beterbiev the ever-so-slight favorite, due to the fact that no man has seen the final bell when stepping in the squared circle with him. Who do you believe will come out on top? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's it, folks. We'll see you in the next one.